Well, it's January 3rd, which means we're just that much closer to the start of the college lacrosse season.
Next month, Mariah.
I know.
Yes, we're looking at a team now finished off 2019 pretty strong. And despite losing some seniors, Army West Point ready to continue the momentum they had from last year into this year. Taking a look back at the Black Knights season now, finishing with a record of 13-5 overall, 4-2 at home. They went 8-3 on the road, set a program record for wins. Despite a rough April, the Black Knights did capture the Patriot League championship, defeating Lehigh 11-7 in that game, clinching their first NCAA tournament berth in a few years since 2010. They did fall in that first round to Penn 13-8. Well, they certainly have some holes to fill this upcoming year, graduating a total of 12 seniors last spring. Two key leaders in particular, defenseman Johnny Surdick, who had led them and caused turnovers with 36, ground balls 64, All-American, along with goalie AJ Barretto, who finished with a 57.6% save percentage there.
But on the plus side, they are in for 3 more seasons of Brendan Nichtern, who had a standout freshman year, leading the Black Knights in goals with 30 and assists with 50 for a grand total of 80 points. The Massapequa, New York native was ranked just second amongst freshmen in the country, averaging just under 4.5 points per game. Nichtern and the rest of the Black Knights will be under the leadership of head coach Joe Alberici. Alberici heads into his 15th season at Army with a record of 123-94. He's a 2-time Patriot League Coach of the Year, did a stint with Team USA back in 2010 as an assistant coach, and before that, he was over at Duke, serving as the Blue Devils assistant coach from 1997 to 2005. Tom is with Coach Alberici now.
All right, so we're joined now by Coach Alberici. And Coach, what is the mindset? What was the mindset during fall coming off that tournament run, in the conference tournament at least, and winning that Patriot League championship? What was on your guys' mind here in the fall season?
Yeah, I think the message that we were trying to get across to our guys, and they certainly grasped onto, was a winning urgency. So, you're not going to win a championship in the fall, nor was that in our intention. But clearly, we didn't want to be waiting till January to rev it up. So we really wanted to attack things with a winning urgency, and I felt like our guys did a great job of that. The competition that's abound within the team led to that, manufacturing some of that winning urgency, and I was pleased overall with our guys' effort there, and also in the weight room and with our speed and quickness development.
Do you make the expectations higher after winning that conference tournament title, or do they stay the same as they have been?
Yeah, we don't talk a lot about it. There's not a lot of discussion about what we want to do or what we're going to do. I think that it's just part of our program, that we want to be a championship program. And that was stated in recruiting, and I don't spend a lot of time talking about that with our guys throughout. I think it's more about our deeds and our actions. Matching those desires is what we're really trying to keep our fingers on the pulse of with the team here. So again, I thought in the fall they did a good job of that. We worked hard, and we're just looking to become as great as we possibly can be. And I know that that's pretty cliche-ish, but it's just the facts. That's how we handle things around here.
You mentioned some of the competition in the fall, and I'm sure some of that's been on the defensive end. Johnny Surdick, obviously one of the best ever to do it there at Army. AJ Barretto, the goalie, too, leaving the program, of course, the graduation, everything like that. How do you replace a guy like that, those kind of players, or fill the void left by them now?
Yeah, it's not a one-man job. Johnny, AJ, those guys aren't rolling around the academy regularly, nor are they probably in most schools. Tremendous player. Johnny being the Schmeiser Award winner at the Defensive Player of the Year. AJ Barretto, a 4-year starter. Played in every single game of his career here. So as a smaller guy, incredibly durable, and you just can't replace him. But what our mode has been, and what we're trying to do, is have everybody step up a little bit, and collectively filling that void, which we've been really clear that hey, those are great players and tremendous talents. We all need to step up and step our game up, and those things are come from the obvious. Who our next goaltender is going to be, who our who the defenseman is going to be down there, but we can all step up in different ways. For example, we need to step up in our face-off game. That might limit some of our the amount of times that we have to defend. If we can even bring down some of our turnovers on the offensive end, that in a way, in a very significant way, is compensating for the loss of John and AJ. So there's a lot of ways to attack it, and although those guys' names aren't brought up regularly in practice, I think our guys understand that that's a big void, and that we all need to work hard to fill it.
Yeah, and now you think about the offensive end. A guy I feel like we were calling highlights of every week was your freshman, Brendan Nichtern, on the offensive end, led you in scoring and everything like that. What do you expect from him now to take that next step here now in his sophomore year?
Sure. Brendan had a tremendous freshman year. You look at what he did. I think it took to about halftime of the UMass game before he started seeing, from that point forward, he started seeing everybody's number one defender. So, quite a load to handle, along with all of the things that you're to do, the plea here at the United States Military Academy. To score 80 points and really be the quarterback of our offense is really nothing short of remarkable. Where we would anticipate Brendan continuing to grow as a leader. Nate Jones was a tremendous goal scorer, but also one of the finest leaders that I've ever coached. And so Nate was down there at attack with him and really took some of that vocal leadership off of Brendan, was a pretty calming influence on Brendan when he needed to, and was a reassurance, giving Brendan plenty of reassurance. So Nate's gone, so there again is an area that Brendan can step up and be more of the vocal leader for us, and just continue to develop the player that he is. And again, the early indications from the fall, I was really impressed with the jumps he made in his game, and hopefully they continue through the spring so that he has even a more remarkable season this year as a sophomore.
Yeah, you talk so much about leadership, whether it's the young guys, the old guys, and you think about why certain individuals go to Army, and it feels like everyone is a leader because they're embracing sort of what that's all about. What's that like for you, knowing you sort of got a team of leaders and managing that in terms of where they all fit?
Yeah, it is a really interesting dynamic we have here, a very positive one. It's the premier leadership program school in the country, in the world, I believe. Its mission is to develop leaders of character. So there is an amazing stat about this institution in general, that of the 1,200 kids accepted this past year, over 800 of those students were varsity team captains. That's an amazing statistic to me, and that's been pretty steady throughout the years. So you can see what the institution values, and when they're looking for students, not only extremely intelligent ones, but also physical, athletic, and most of all leaders. So now you put together a group of leaders like that. We're consistently speaking with them, and we're talking about, hey, you don't need to be the captain of this team to be a leader. The seniors have a big part of it, and quite honestly, if you lead yourself, then you're a leader. If you're in control of yourself, then you're a leader, which they are. And our guys, it is a big time part of our program. Now, from a coaching standpoint, one of the things it does is it makes sure that you're prepared every day, because when you're going out there and you're leading the team, as myself and my assistants have to do every day, you better have your stuff together, and you better have a plan, and a plan that can be articulated, because these guys, more than most, have an understanding of leadership and can see where there is a lack of leadership too. So, it's an amazing place to live and coach, and unquestionably, I'm learning as much from my players as they're learning from me.
Yeah, absolutely. Leaders on and off the field, all that more important in the world today, as we know, especially considering their responsibilities. Coach Joe Alberici, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it, and good luck this season.
Thank you so much for having me, and Happy New Year.
You too.